Rocky, you talked about after last Saturday's win against Sioux Falls how you thought it was a little closer than it maybe could have been. What's something you guys have to do this weekend to create a little bit of separation and get a win by multiple goals?
You know, there's no fashion points. There's no bonus points. It's win or lose. I think it's about our process and doing things the right way for 60 minutes, burying our chances. I thought that we had some chances in that game on Saturday that we didn't take advantage of. I think if you do that, you tighten up the D a little bit. They capitalized on a couple mistakes that we made, and they were able to obviously pot too. And so, you know, when those things start to clean themselves up, you're giving up less, you're scoring a little bit more, then you get a little bit more of a decisive victory. But that's for the fans. For us, as long as we got one more than the opponent when the game ends, we're happy.
4 straight games with a power play goal, lead the league in power play percentage. I think what stood out the most is how it's become a momentum changer in a lot of games. How are you guys using the power play to either claw back or, you know, find a way to add to a lead?
That is the biggest thing. The responsibility of the power play is to bring momentum back to the bench. And, you know, if you can score 25 to 30% of the time, that's a big number for your team. And, you know, let's remember, if we go 4 games without a power play goal later in the year, that it's not the end of the world. There's small sample sizes, and it's been really important for us to have success in those situations. But more than anything, it is bringing that energy back to our bench. And even when we're not scoring, we're putting the opponent under siege for 2 minutes. They're stressed in their own end, and more often than not, you can capitalize on that in the following shifts after the power play is over.
It seems like since your first season, really, you haven't had, since that season, a lot of guys with a ton of options that were one-timers on the power play. But it seems like that's really evolved again this year. How nice is it to have so many different options out there who can let it loose pretty quickly?
Well, you don't get a Dalton Norris all that often, and you know, and then we were blessed with Clavs. He was able to hit his one-timer, and you know, it's a skill that not enough guys are good at. I think it's probably because the sticks are too expensive. And when you're young and mom's paying $300 for a stick, she probably doesn't want you to break it while you're practicing your one-timers. And that's a shame, but that's a different conversation. So, you know, our guys, fortunately, we've got a lot of guys that can hit it. Harrington has shown he can. Younger's shown he can. Obviously, Lessie with the big one-time goal on the 5-on-3 last week or 2 weeks ago. So we've got guys that are capable of doing that, and that allows us to have more options on the power play. We can have downhills, we can have one-timers, we can have guys popping out of the bumper area to be able to hit one. So I think for us, that's certainly something where we've made a priority within our drafting and our recruiting so that we can have more of that as an option.
And what about the guys who are returners? Is that something maybe you work on with them or you have them work on in the summer?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they're not paying for their sticks here, so if they break them, it's not as big of a deal. Hopefully Mr. Fernandez isn't watching. I'm just joking. But, you know, that's part of it, right? It's reps and it's process, and it's guys working on things that they're not good at. And that's the message to our players all the time is, you know, if you're really good at something, yeah, keep it sharp, but let's focus on the things we need to improve on. And, you know, hey, I hit my one-timer, but I'm not great at handling pucks on my backhand. We'll spend more time working on the things that you're not good at. And that's how we develop skill, and that's how guys get better. It's repetition and just time.